in their faith. And the goal is that they would be mature. And maturity is to become a fruit-bearing disciple, somebody that is actually bearing fruit in their life, someone who has actually grown into maturity and able to do that. God isn't just calling you to get baptized. He wants you to grow. He's not just asking you to attend. He wants you to engage this vision and mission that he's given to us. The problem is too many Christians have their eyes on something else, not the ball. Y'all are wearing hats today. I don't think that's appropriate. If you thought that, I'm talking to you. Nowhere in the Bible does it say not to wear a hat. Nowhere in the Bible does it say when you pray you got to take your hat off. You know who says that? American culture. You know what's happened in the life of the church? American culture and Christianity has not just intersected, but in many ways, American culture has overshadowed the gospel to where we've got a bunch of rules and a bunch of standards and a bunch of things that we're supposed to say and do that are not biblical. They're American culture. And we have to realize that God is not the foundation of our faith. God is not calling us to uphold America. He's calling us to uphold the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what he's calling us to love and to pour our heart and life into. And in so many ways, this idea of American culture and comfort has invaded the church to where we're more concerned about all the different fights that are happening in our world and less about what God has called us to actually do. We're distracted by comfort. We're upset about our culture. We're busy and we don't have time to talk to Jesus personally. We don't have time to serve or for small groups. And the problem, I think, is that culture is drastically changing around us. And we still, as Christians, have a bunch of fights about stupid things. Can't wear hats. Can't do this, can't do that. You said it this way, should have said it this way. And meanwhile, we've got this massive fight going on in our culture, this gay and trans movement that is shaping our next generation and changing things in such a way that our heads are beginning to spin, and we need more and better strategies to engage this world with the gospel. We need more kids. We need more teenagers. We need more adults who are boldly and unashamedly talking about their faith. Sadly, we had 6 Christians murdered in a school just a couple of weeks ago. And that wasn't the headlines, was it? That wasn't the headlines in our culture. You see, the persecution and the hate towards Christianity is at a level that we haven't experienced yet. And it probably is just going to increase. And so when I say we have to get better as a church, we've got to get prepared and better and stronger. Some of you, I don't know the Bible. Well, freaking learn, man. Put in the work and learn. We have all these excuses and we have all these things that, man, I've got this past. Listen, we all do. But as a church, and I'm not just saying our church, like church in general, we've got to get our butts in gear because we are missing this generation. We are not fighting against gay people or the trans community or woke politics. We are fighting against Satan himself. Our fight is not against flesh and blood. It is against the dark spiritual forces of this age. And the tragedy is not woke politics. The tragedy is that Christians don't have the boldness to share Jesus with their friends. You're afraid. And we're missing the purpose that God has for us. We've got to develop leaders and we've got to develop young people in order to have a boldness about them. We've got to be able to articulate our convictions better. We're bad at that. We're bad at it. We're afraid. We're sissies. We're afraid we're going to get canceled. We don't have confidence in the gospel. We don't have confidence in what we know. And we just sit on our hands and moan and complain. And what I want to encourage you to do is to stop it. Stop it. Get across the table from a young person and pour your heart into them and say, this is who Jesus is and what he wants to do in your life. I want older couples to take younger couples out to dinner and pay for it because they're broke. And tell them why it is important to fight for their marriage. And show them pictures of your grandkids and say, you don't have these yet, but these are better than your own kids. This is what we're fighting for, right? No, seriously, we've got to get across the table from people and we've got to start having conversations. Well, what do we want to do? Do we want to, I hear it all the time, we got to do something, man. And if you got ideas, I'm open, but like when I hear that, I'm hearing people say like, well, we got to march, man. Let's just go march. And I'm like, marching is not there. That's American culture. We got to protest. And I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Well, what do we want to do? Do you want to loot? You want to riot? Jesus says to go and make disciples. Go and make disciples.